In another life, under another sky, in a land of eternal twilight, I was Prince Kiri Amaranth. I never did like that title. My older brother took it much better. Under the authority of the Seelie Court of the Fae, I was raised to be a callous, apathetic creature, to find joy in my station and to find worth in superiority. I hated it. So I left and found myself among the Unseelie Fae, in the lands guided by the Queen of Air and Darkness. It took me almost 100 years, but I finally found a home. Then the war came. I served my new people as a healer, as much as I could, anyway. But it wasn't enough. We lost. The Queen was sealed away, her armies banished. And that's how I found myself in Sanmaria. And for 15 years, all I wanted was to go home. Somehow, I got my wish. And I returned to a Feywild with no place left for me. I really did think that was it, but somehow, my friends from Sanmaria followed me across the Vale, and my dear, beloved Vesper somehow gave me the power to wake my queen. She's alive. And the strangest thing of all is that I don't think I want to go home anymore. During my absence, something killed an Archfey, and for all their wars, that is something the courts would themselves never dare to do. But the Whispered One and his mad Lich King are a problem too big to ignore, and so I won't. And I will pursue this calling to the ends of the earth if I have to. For myself, for all people, and for my queen.
I always wanted to be special, to prove I was more than just a simple halfling from a backwoods farming community. My life has been a laundry list of struggles, disappointments, and shortcomings. And worse yet is that my mother doesn't let me forget that she's keeping track of them all. My name's Devereaux Thistlebrook. My dad left me and my family behind in Featherton when I was really little. I never really understood why, but I always looked up to him. I dreamed of traveling the world like he does. So I left home nearly 2 years ago on a whim, hoping to get a whiff of adventure and experience new, exotic places, see mysterious sights, and feel like a true explorer, someone of legend. My travels so far have led me into ancient ruins, derelict fortresses, fey-touched swamps, and even ancient dragons' nests. I even ran into my dear old dad, Clark, along the way. Turns out I may be a bit more than ordinary after all. You see, my dad is a deva, a celestial being. More than that, he was kicked out of his celestial home by a god. A god, with a capital G. Some of his power and personality must have rubbed off on me, though, because I've discovered I have some magical aptitude. The feathers growing on my back just complicate things a bit. While I don't know exactly what the future holds for me, I do know that I want to learn more about my own heritage, all while doing more research on the Fae, elven legends, and all the other mysteries of the world. Someday, I'll make a real great discovery and be remembered for all of my accomplishments. Until then, I'm going to keep traveling with my friends so that I can finally prove I'm worth more than my mom thinks.
Good day. My name is Finley Marina Moncroy. I'm not sure why you'd care to know the details of my name. I don't think it's important who I was or where I came from, but more who I am and where I am now. So, let's start again. You may call me Finley, Finn if we become close, but we will not. I'm on a mission from the Raven Queen, and I'm not sure how much I'm supposed to tell you, but suffice it to say it's pretty important. Not because of names or stations, but because she saw something in me. I'm not about to question that, because now I finally have something to do that feels useful, and I get to be out on the road. You may question it, you would not be the first, but I do not particularly care. I enjoy a good book, a nice tea, and keeping up with the latest fashion. Do not look at me like that. It's possible to look nice and be useful at the same time. What else? What would make you feel as though you know Finley Moncroy? That I trained my horse Badger from when he was a foal? Perhaps that I started fundraising for war orphans while I was training with the other clerics? My favorite song is Save a Dance for Yanira. Sometimes I like to sit out among the stars and just think of what other worlds might be out there, what other planes might hold. Do you feel like we know each other now? No? How terribly surprising. I have hopes and dreams, same as anyone, but I am afraid I will need to get to know you a little better before I share such things.
Imagine a girl venturing in darkness to find ways to help people. Her love for others stronger than the fear of the unknown. And yet cast out by her family for being far too brave. What we fear isn't darkness itself, it's the monsters that lurk in it. Twist it. Defile it. We scorn and shun those wretches because of this dread, but by proxy, all who even touch the shadow. I ask you to put aside this fear and instead keep a watchful eye on those who seek to harm and rise against them. Especially those that lavish in the light, for there are monstrosities that don't need the gloom to do evil. Do not be afraid. Imagine being struck a mortal blow in battle, only to be given more time to be healed. Imagine a victim, the sole witness of a murder, pulled back from the veil to elucidate who must be brought to justice. Imagine a parent, a traveler killed on their way home, but granted the last gift to say goodbye to a mourning family before passing on. Imagine the girl who did nothing wrong, a girl who loves her son. Imagine the son, a son cursed, unafraid of the wilds, an echo of an infernal pact, an echo of light in the dark.
Horse emoji. There we go.
Why? Why are you like this? Welcome to the stream. Captain, you want to take it from here?
Do I?
Welcome
Oh,
to
man.
the 36th episode of Desk Keepers. Sorry we're late. Traffic sucks. But we're all here, and look how great everybody looks. Holy moly.
Oh, I froze.
Yeah.
It's okay.
But I can still hear you.
I got a backup camera.
It's like you're here in spirit.
Oh my god, you're so...
I didn't mean. There we go. Backup camera.
I adore y'all so much. Thank you for being here. Who would like to give the, Who would like to give the recap?
Oh no.
Eva, that was you. Get on
You
with you
always
guys
have
off.
Tell me in advance, because I'm not good at recaps.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Okay. I did not really think about my accent before starting today, so let's just see what we get, shall we? I'm unmuted. Great. Zaitaria came back. That was very exciting. Not dead. Yay. Apparently there's sort of, God's sort of, getting around the Divine Gate, which is not so good, probably, for anyone, regardless of intention. Lots to do there, I guess. It's a bit of a thing. She sort of killed me. It's fine. What's a little death between friends? I came back. everyone sort of looks a bit different. Weird little wisps. Sort of questions I'm not looking into too much at the moment. There's a bit of a gap I don't know anything about, where maybe something happened. I was asleep, it's fine. Shared a bit of smut with Devereaux. These things are noteworthy. Actually had our meeting with Shade. Everyone survived. I think that's a win. Nice little tea shop. Missed the name, but you should check it out if you're ever in Wolfcrest. There's a lot of sass in that one. Didn't learn probably as much as we would like. Sort of more, I guess Zandaria created the Godfall, so that's probably going to be okay. I don't see what could possibly go wrong with that. You know, I feel like there's something else really important, but I just don't know what it is. So, I think we'll leave it at that for now.
Finley, that was a beautiful recap.
It was sure something.
Don't ever doubt yourself. You're amazing. Everybody has one crit for everyone. That doesn't make sense. Everybody has a crit. Thank you, Mayor. I really thought that they were corrupting.
Yeah.
Oh, I did too.
I wasn't opposed even a little bit. Where's the trust? That's fair. So we found. Oh, that's an old advantage. Oh, go away, old advantage. We don't want you here. So, Death's Keepers. What are y'all doing?
We're still on the way back to the cliffside. I remember Echo wanted to kind of explain without prying eyes or eavesdropping ears what he was able to learn from the conversation with Shade.
So you find yourselves back in your one person's room. Whose room is it?
I mean, you know, I can.
Echo?
Yeah.
Back in Echo's room. Door is solidly shut. You find yourself in privacy. In this nice tavern room. I think we established that this is a mediocre tavern. Like, doesn't suck. It's not amazing. Right there in doesn't suck land. There you are.
Cool. It's the Holiday Inn.
Yeah. Except it's called the Cliffside, and it's not by a cliff.
Okay. So, again, sorry for not telling you about the silence. But there's a lot of stuff that I learned. I asked about the Voidwalkers because Voidwalkers are almost myth in the silence. The way I understand the silence is a group that tries to keep corruption in leadership in check, but being so clandestine, it's hard to keep track. The Voidwalkers are little bit off the deep end when it comes to that. It's very extreme. Shade is one of the Voidwalkers. Kiri, I think they're the ones that took the book. And tonight, I learned that the Voidwalkers serve the Whispered One. But I also learned that they don't know who exactly they're dealing with. Sure, you can serve any powerful being, any deity. But through what means? I don't think they understand what means they're working with. We know that the Lich King wrote the Godfall. Now, I think we use that. You saw how Shade reacted. I just don't know how. I need to know more. There is presence of silence here in Wolfcrest. I can try and find out something that might give us an edge, might move us towards killing Zendaria.
So you're saying they know who they serve, just not for what purpose?
They don't know exactly who they're working with. Think of it like you serve the Raven Queen, but you're reporting to Zytharia.
Still a pretty clear... It was still a pretty clear chain. Okay.
But
My
what
question...
if that link in the chain, the Zytharia link, wasn't what it seemed?
Okay, we're getting a little close to like... So you're saying the trunk of hands back in that cave... Okay. All right. I follow you. So what now with the silence?
I think I can at least glean some more information from people that aren't part of the Voidwalkers. Some people, some contacts that are closer to the intended goal of the silence.
Can I quickly cast Detect Evil and Good?
You do not sense any aberrations or celestial or undead or fiends or anything that would, or consecrated or desecrated ground.
Super. I also had a conversation the other night that would hopefully be able to clarify some of this. I left town the other night, went outside the gates, and I spoke with Zandaria.
I'm sorry, you fucking what?
You what?
Huh?
I left town the other night, outside the gates, and I spoke with Zandaria.
Do you not remember what happened the last time?
Oh, what happened the last time is precisely why I wanted to speak to her.
To be fair, she didn't attack Kiri. But
To be fair, you charged her with a knife.
But Kiri, they literally wrote the book on how to kill your queen. Why would you want to meet with them?
Because I learned a long time ago that not everything that's scary is bad. And not everything that is bad scares us like it should. I've heard thousands of stories about evil queens and dark forces, and quite honestly, that's all they are. Stories. Meant to control and confine. Zandaria could have, if she wanted to, developed 1,000 awful fates for each and every one of us. And we never would have left that valley alive. But she didn't. If she truly thought of us as just miscellaneous, mindless enemies to be destroyed, then I have no doubt that she would have destroyed us. She could have. So I want to know why we made it out of there alive. Because I guarantee you, if we had had the same interaction with Daventarth, without Zytharia and Fate's Chosen, we would be lunch. There's something about her. So we spoke. It turns out she's under a compulsion, forced on her by the Whispered One to do these things. The compulsion is to some extent loose. I'm not sure how deep it goes, but she doesn't really want to do what she's doing. And she, to some extent, has no choice.
So wait, so you're saying her will isn't exactly her own, that this isn't her choice. This is not.
That is exactly what I'm saying.
this is so much worse.
Yeah, it is.
So we don't have to kill her. We can free her. Can you sever? Is there a way to sever this compulsion? Do you know?
I'm not the person to ask about that. I'm not exactly studied in magic.
Who would know?
Really. Probably some wizard stuck up in a tower somewhere. Maybe a god. I couldn't even begin to guess. I mean, it doesn't sound like the most impossible thing I've ever heard of. But then again, I never had to try any of those impossible things that I've heard about, so...
I'm fresh out of Wizards. What... Do you know anyone here?
No. Anyway, some other things we talked about are that it turns out she didn't build that army alone. Which is surprising because I wouldn't have doubted it if you told me that she did. But turns out a large part of it are necromancers tripping over each other trying to impress her. I got the names of 2 of them.
That sounds familiar.
One of them is named Azarkai. We've met before, or we've met an impersonator. The other one was named McGrath. I've never heard that name before in my life.
GM, do either of those names sound familiar to me?
Why don't you roll an religion check? That was... Took me a hot second, sorry.
Are you sure you can't do history?
I'm sure you can't do history.
Okay. That was a 3. So,
Unfamiliar.
did you say one of them was an imposter?
Yeah.
Things aren't bad enough. We need to impersonate necromancers.
Yeah.
Well, in all fairness, even for an imposter, he was still pretty powerful.
Yeah, that's uncomfortably true.
And they're both still working on raising the army.
I believe so. But here's another interesting thing. They have no idea who she is. They still believe they're serving some Mad Lich King. And Zandaria intends on keeping it that way.
To be fair,
Interesting.
I do too. Devereaux, this is also familiar. You read Tovar's journal, right?
Yes.
Same
and
story.
Tovar wanted nothing more than to impress the Mad Lich King and curry favor. So that's why he was making his skeleton horde. So this might be a realm-wide problem. Do you think we should consider taking up new jobs?
This is exactly what me and my mother were up to. We'd bounce around following rumors of necromancers and undead. I just thought it was to remove the bad stigma, the reputation behind necromancy, but oh man, I gotta send another letter.
So if we can break this enthrallment, arguably, it would kind of throw the rest of the bad necromancers into disarray?
Seems like a good start. She's impossibly old. Would she even survive it?
Likely not, but
I mean, better to die free, don't get me wrong.
Her sentiment as well. It does seem, though, that if we were able to at least remove some of the more competent necromancers around here or otherwise, that at bare minimum we slow the rate of increase that that army is experiencing and make it easier for someone to deal with it at some point.
Is your imposter still alive?
Imposter and the real thing, to my knowledge, are both alive. Wouldn't mind paying the second visit.
I agree.
How powerful are we talking?
The
12 our
imposter?
level? More?
The imposter is a nephew of the real thing. Nephew, I don't think is all that bad.
Not at this point. We first met him a long time ago.
Yeah.
So,
For clarity, by not that bad, you mean not that powerful, or like he's just sort of a dingus who doesn't really get the whole necromancy thing?
total dingus.
Oh, a little bit of
Oh.
both.
Oh,
A little bit
okay.
of both.
I'm down for putting down a dingus.
If nothing else, he gets us close to the uncle, who does seem to be at least somewhat competent.
And are they close? Maybe.
Across the continent. We met them in the Wildwoods.
Oh.
I-
Okay.
Or did you mean their relationship to one another?
You know that's what I was going for, but
Oh,
Kiri,
I
that was also
apologize.
helpful. That was really helpful.
You know, honestly, how attached does a necromancer actually get to a living person?
I mean, I wouldn't consider my mom to be much of a necromancer, but by the definition of the word, maybe not so different.
I mean, they're still people, right? Get pretty lonely if you weren't.
And so we're gonna kill this man's nephew.
That or use the nephew to get to him personally.
Put him off base.
When was the last time you saw them? I mean, they could be anywhere by now.
Months ago, at least.
And who's to say that they haven't gotten more? I mean, it seems like you two have gotten more powerful since then. Who's to say that they haven't either?
Well, quite honestly, nobody, but then again, last time we saw them, we weren't traveling with a professional necromancer hunter, so I do feel pretty good about our odds.
Okay.
One more thing that I feel like we should probably discuss. Finley, you mentioned loneliness and Zandaria hasn't spoken to anybody in about 600 years. She's not doing what she's doing because she wants to. Because she is quite literally forced to. I intend, to some extent, on speaking with her further. No one deserves the solitude she is experiencing. Figured I would let everybody know for two reasons. One, they don't come back one night. That's possible. But also, well, I made it out. Made it out just fine last time, so I'm sure she wouldn't mind seeing some fresh faces.
Does that mean could I talk to her?
You probably wouldn't be able to charge her with the sword again, but yeah, I do believe you could.
Yeah. I'm okay with this.
And that's all I know.
Gary, I can't fault you for that. You are an incredible person. I have a lot to think about, I think.
Take all the time you need. Devereaux, how are you feeling?
Well, honesty, I have no idea. I
That's
just
fair too.
can't believe it. In all honesty, there was probably like a 75% chance you would have just gotten killed. You know?
I thought that too.
And yet you just snuck off without saying anything? Come back.
If I were to die going alone, we would all die if we all went together.
But
Our existence right now is entirely dependent on her permission.
see why we have to keep asking for that permission. Forcing it.
Yeah. If nothing else, I needed to do it once. I had to understand what was going on. I was not going to spend another 100 years of my life hating some dark queen over fairy tales and superstition. I've done that enough.
Okay. So, we can do a few things. We can pursue stopping the Voidwalkers. We could cut off the supply of undead by hunting necromancers. We could try recruiting allies to fight this army. Not all of these are mutually exclusive. But I think I'd be more comfortable with the purpose.
I agree.
I agree.
Gotta do something.
All right, so we're here. Check on the silence. Start a hunt for... It seems sort of tiresome to go all the way across the world when there's probably necromancers like literally next door, but hunt necromancers whilst searching for a wizard who might discreetly know a way of freeing Zendaria Massier from a compulsion by the Whispered One. It's fine. That's okay. Is that? It seems like we've got layers of, short term, medium term, long term.
Yeah, I do expect we'll be busy for quite a while.
I mean, that'll take us through the weekend at best.
I'd like to spend a few days gathering information here. Maybe restocking. Necromancers don't tend to hang out in cities, maybe nearby. Supplies will be low if we're moving. I can check in with the Silence tomorrow. I don't know if I can bring anyone along, but if anyone's curious, willing to try.
Probably be best if you did it yourself.
Yeah. Okay. There are three places. If I don't, I'll leave in the morning. If I don't come back by sunset, these are the three places that I went. There's a dining hall nearby. There's a bookshop across town. And what was the third place, GM? It was like a really rundown.
What are the two you listed?
Like a sort of dining hall area.
Yeah.
The bookshop.
Yeah. And a rundown tavern, perhaps?
I think it was a rundown tavern. Or some sort of abandoned building of some sort. I don't know. I'll describe that place.
Yeah.
I don't anticipate going missing. But just in case.
People usually don't.
Did that tea make anyone else really thirsty?
Yeah, it was good, but
I'm gonna get something to eat.
I spilled most of mine.
Filled.
That's keep it. Oh god.
No, if there's anything else, I'm gonna go get food.
It is a good plan.
I think I'll try and find someone who can help us figure out where Azurkai's nephew might be. Give us a place to start. So I guess y'all can go have dinner and I'll attend to business.
Oh, you're doing that now?
Well, I'd rather get it done sooner than later. It is getting later.
Okay. I think that's good.
Devereaux? Is this your way of telling us the food here doesn't measure up and you're just gonna go find a nicer place to eat?
I hadn't thought of that, but that's a good idea. But no,
Okay.
it's a real good idea.
So Deborah, where are you heading?
There's got to be like a potions or diviner's tent somewhere. I don't know. I'm looking for probably something like what. Oh heck, what was her name? Sura.
Sura. Yeah. Okay, why don't you make... Sorry, I'm making up this magic item for y'all. Why don't you make a investigation check?
I'm moderately okay at that. That's a 16.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a couple places I think that you're sort of looking for, or that might work for what you're looking for. As you sort of skitter about the city, this very cold city, you see a couple things. The buildings here are built very sturdily, with stone, things that people can keep warm in the winter, which is always. There aren't a lot of temporary things. There is, however, a marketplace. In this marketplace, even the stalls are somewhat permanent. They are two sort of three-walled with roofed buildings that are structures set for people to be able to come in, set up, and then be able to leave later. The marketplace is interesting because most of the people selling things here are selling very sturdy vegetables, they're selling meats, they're selling weapons. This is a town where a lot of people make their income by foraging, hunting, lumbering? It's not the right word. And so you don't see any tents like what Sarah had. However, at the very end of this marketplace is what you see, a man. He is, he looks human, maybe in his 80s. Quite old. His eyes are like squinted shut. He's got a full, thick beard, but no hair on his head. And he walks with a cane. And you see he is resting, sort of arms crossed, leaned against one of these buildings, one of these structures that houses this person next to him is selling shields, specifically. This old human man has sort of his cloak bundled about him. He's smoking a pipe. The pipe has a very pungent smell to it. You can already smell it from here. And he stands on the ground, barefooted. And next to him is a prayer mat with a singing bowl and incense burning, and a deck of tarot cards.
Well, it's a start, I guess. I would recognize those cards at the very least.
Definitely would.
And I'd probably stop awkwardly near him and kind of regard him.
He gives you a nod and a puff of his pipe. You watch the leaves in it flare with heat and fire.
Evening.
Evening.
Do you, by chance, and I'll kind of nod at the mat and the cards.
Well, they ain't for show.
What type of rituals do you do?
Depends
if I
on
might ask.
Depends on what you're needing. I'm also here for general advice. I'm an old man. I've learned a thing or two in my day.
Appreciate that.
Lived a couple of lives. Seen other people. Met lots of other people. I'm also happy to do a prayer for you if that's what you're interested in.
I rub my chin for a moment. Well, as far as advice goes, I have a dad, so I can always ask my dad for advice, so thank you, but I think I'll pass on that.
Of course.
But let's say I was looking for someone lost to me? Could you help me find them?
Mayhaps I could.
While I'm talking, I'll actually pull out my own pipe, and I'll start tamping some of my own pipe weed to start smoking alongside this fine gentleman.
He seems quite impressed with you. You got a name there?
Oh, yes. Devereaux.
Devereaux.
Alex, note that I didn't say Jake.
Well,
And you?
Amos.
Amos. That's a name that sounds like it has history to it.
Mayhaps it does. Have a seat. He gestures to this large prayer mat.
Any preference for how I sit?
Whatever's comfortable.
I will sit cross-legged.
He will do the same. So you're trying to find somebody.
Yes.
They know you're looking for him?
Well, if they did, I'd be impressed. Because I just decided to look for them.
Fair.
We're also not really friends.
I see, I see. You got anything of theirs?
Trying to remember. We stole some books from the chapel. I don't remember who had the books. I don't think I have anything. No. No, I don't think I do.
They got a name?
Yes.
But you don't want to give it to me.
Would I be able to write it down?
Certainly.
Okay. I will pull out a piece of paper, a little scrap, and write down Azurkai the Dark Master.
He takes it into his hands and rubs his thumb over where the ink is dried. Well, this is a start. But I'll need a little bit more information from you. Can you describe them to me?
Sure can. I will recount the balding, middle-aged man that we saw in our first outing.
Okay. Very good, very good. I think this is a good start. Now, these things ain't always precise. Mayhaps I'm not able to get a location. Mayhaps I'm able to get a state of mind or a purpose. Something along those lines. Would you be interested?
Well, I'd much rather be able to find their whereabouts, but if I have to risk it, I can't say no.
This old man kind of looks you up and down. Now, before I do this service for you, Devereaux, what have you to offer for payment? To be delivered after the service is complete.
I look around to see if there's any indication of what he might want from me based on his effects.
His effects are minimal. You see a backpack, like a rucksack that has a bedroll attached to it, a worn bedroll. Everything he has seems to be quite old, either maybe handed down or thrifted or that kind of thing. Maybe even too old for him, possibly. Except for the tarot cards, those do not seem as though they might be older than he is. They seem a little newer. He wears threadbare clothing. There is a small jar that has a few copper in it.
Well, first of all, I will reach into my pouch and pull out a gold and put it in the cup. This is not for your services. This is for you. Second, would and I'm really screwing my face up when I think this, right before I say it. Would the feather off the back of a celestial be of interest to you?
Not if it causes that celestial any discomfort.
Oh no, they don't mind.
Mayhaps it might. Now, the only other thing I might be requiring that might make this a little easier is a map.
I exhale a puff of smoke and just have the biggest smile across my face. Any particular region?
Of wherever region you're expecting they might be.
Well, Amos, if I knew, I wouldn't be here asking you.
Then the bigger the map, the better.
That's fair. I'll pull out just the world map from my collection.
Is this the one that you've drawn, or this is just a map that you own?
I'd go ahead and say mine.
He leans back as he surveys this map that you set out in front of him. You see him gently take an old, wrinkled, weathered finger, sort of trembling as he places it on the edge of the map. Ooh. This is something quite special. You can always tell when something's crafted with love, with tenderness, with care. Whoever made this map, they were, I imagine, quite something to behold.
I don't know about that, but it is put together nicely.
Look at this. Look at the way these details are so lovingly crafted. And there's so many of them. This was a map truly made by the person exploring these areas. Well, they must be an accomplished traveler. Do you know who made this map?
my companions.
Ah. Will you roll for deception?
I'm gonna use advantage on that. I'm gonna use my halfling luck. It's a 14.
Okay. He says nothing but puffs a bit of smoke out. Well, let me get started. You watch as he pulls something from out of his neck, a chain from around his neck, and it has a claw at the end. Make an extra check for me.
That's a 26.
Whew. It's a dragon talon. A large one. He takes it and he brings it to his lips, lets the chain fall, pulls the chain at the top and lets the talon fall, and it begins to swing wildly in his trembling hand. And he begins to mutter, murmuring. What languages do you speak?
Halfling and Elven.
In a language you do not know. A deep guttural language. Low, his voice lowering even with it. And for a moment it seems like nothing is happening. There's no magic here, at least that you can tell. But after a moment his hand stops trembling. And the talon comes to rest. The point touching your map. On a very specific place. Tell me, Devereaux, did you map Azrakai's home on this map?
I distinctly remember I said I placed a skeleton at the site where we fought them in the first episode.
The talon lands directly next to it. That's, interesting. Sounds like there's death there.
Yes, there is. That's why I need to find them.
There's also fear. In the heart of this creature. Maybe they do know you're coming for them.
Well, maybe that should be relief instead.
Why is that? You look pretty fearsome to me. Hell, I wouldn't mess with someone like you.
This person doesn't know what they're getting themselves into. What they've done.
Sense and motivation of revenge. Something close to that. Not quite, though. But who am I but just an old man? Tell me, Devereaux, you planning to go to this place?
That is the plan.
Well, you see, I don't get around like I used to. And this is gonna be close to somewhere that means a lot to me. You see, there's a grave. A grave there of someone I cared about very deeply. Someone I wronged. I was wondering if perhaps you could accept something from me to place upon that grave.
I would be glad to do the favor, though I would be selfish and ask for one in return from you. Though I promise it involves no walking.
Do name it.
Can you offer a prayer for me to Avandra?
Avandra. She's a flighty mistress, ain't she?
So I'm told.
I certainly can.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now this grave is you can find it just out of the small village of Briar's Glen. It's on the road leading in and out of town on the west side. It's marked by a well, you'll see it, I promise.
I'm sure I won't miss it. Briar's Glen. Where is it on this map?
He points to an area just outside of Ilverness. Between Ilverness and where you are going.
I will look for it. And I'll make the offering.
He's puffs on his pipe and reaches over into the backpack, begins to kind of slowly rifle through it, pulling a few things aside. And then he pulls out a small chest. Very small, maybe this big. This, yeah, rectangular, with a lid, a latch closed. As the sun is going down, it's a little dark, and you can see in the faint light, it shimmers just a little bit. And there's some symbology on it. Would you like to investigate it now?
Just at a cursory glance, are they written in a language I read?
They're not. It's not so there are a few words written onto it or runes carved into it, but it's mainly a pictograph.
That's lovely. What is it? Elvish?
He gives a low chuckle. It's definitely not Elvish. No, it's Draconic.
I see. And this is to be placed at the site?
Right on the grave is fine. I used to make it out there frequently, but these old feet, you know?
I understand. Payment for services, and I'll reach behind my back and pluck a feather.
For the first time, you see him let out a startled noise. Oh! My goodness. You weren't kidding. He'll hold his hand out for it.
I'll pass it over. I don't know what good it is, but it's gotta be worth something, right?
He looks at it, tickled. Begins observing the way it shimmers in the light. Well met, Devereaux.
Is there anything you'd like me to say at the site when I leave this? A message, perhaps?
That's very kind of you, but no, I don't think so.
All right.
Thank you.
I'll take the box when he offers it to me, and if he doesn't mind, I'll probably just sit and finish off my pipe with him.
Oh yeah, he doesn't mind at all. Sits quietly. Peacefully. Observes the feather for a little bit longer, and then he places it gently on top of his tarot deck. Echo? Oh, go ahead. I'm so sorry, Deborah.
I was just say once I'm done, I'll head back towards the tavern.
Yeah. While this is happening, what are the rest of you doing?
I'm at the tavern of Cliffside. Just, you know what? Drafting another letter. Joined the club and now I'm in it.
Will you read us the letter?
Oh,
You're working on it?
I'm working on it. Yeah, it's
Okay.
it's given the conversation with Kiri and what we learned. Echo might have another few words for dear old Ma.
Are we doing a partial group dinner?
If you would like to join.
Yeah. Socially acceptable. Finley is probably going to be having a bit of a dinner and a drink, and if Kiri is there, them as well, but otherwise surreptitiously trying to stare at Echo and Curie, if they're both there, to see if she can see their auras again. Because that seems like an excellent idea.
Why don't you make a wisdom saving throw?
Are you there, Kiri?
23. 23.
Finley. You begin to look at your friends, Echo and Curie. Sort of trying to peer almost into them. And as you do, a unfamiliar sensation begins to take over you. Your fingertips begin to go numb. A sweat breaking out under your arms and your hands. Hear the faint sound of ticking. Tick, 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 tick. That begins to speed up. At first, time has stopped, but then it begins to fast forward. All but you, Echo, and Curie, who seem totally oblivious to this world that begins to spin around them. People moving so fast that they are simply a blur. The tavern becoming darker and darker at the edges. You feel as though maybe you are about to pass out. And your vision goes just like that. The only things that remain are you, the table, Echo, and Curie. Which one do you look at first?
Echo.
I need to message somebody really quick. Hold on.
Curie.
Okay. Okay. As you begin to glance between the two of them, you feel a choice echoing in your head. You see between you and them is a veil. Shimmering gossamer. You can see through it. It's translucent, but there is definitely something separating you two. As you look at it, you see the veil begin to blow in a breeze. Like a whisper. And it flies back, revealing Echo, where he was sitting, but instead he is not seated anymore. Instead, he is standing on a battlefield, surrounded by figures. Indistinguishable and indistinct. You see him kneeling, not by choice, having been struck down in battle. Above him is a mysterious figure. They wear a mask of bone, scraggly hair that is gray and matted, falling down their back, dark, tattered robes. As they reach into Echo's chest piercing fingers breaking through bone. They grab Echo's heart, still beating, and pull it from their chest. And watch as Echo falls. The last thing you see is the blood running down this creature's hand, which is entirely bone. There's no sinew, no flesh, just bone. With a sickening pull, you are yanked back to your seat and the veil closes. You have a choice now, Finley. Would you like to peer back and look at Echo? Would you like to peer back, pull it back again, and look at Kiri? Or let the world come back to you?
No, I'm looking at Kiri.
Roll a wisdom saving throw.
How long is it? Okay.
22.
Okay. You reach forward. This time, as you reach forward, your hand is a void in space, inky blackness as you pull the veil back. And you see Kiri. Dressed in finery, but not the finery that you were accustomed to. Some kind of... Well, you would only be able to describe it as distinctly fey. They are in a massive room. A chamber that looks like it is fit for royalty. The four-post bed has shimmering fabric that comes down on all sides. There is a beautiful writing desk. And on the very center of the room is a crown. A queen's crown. And as you look on the bed, you see a figure, a form. Kiri's very indistinguishable form. Their eyes are closed. And for a moment you fear the worst. You look and watch. They're in their spring form. And after a moment of terror, as you had just seen Echo's life flash before you, you see Kiri's chest rise and fall with a gentle, sleeping breath. Trancing breath, whatever, it's fine. There is an empty spot in the bed next to them. As moonlight filters in through the windows. A figure is returning from somewhere in a different area, but you are being pulled back from this vision. Do you stay? Or do you go?
That was a lot. I think I'm going to go.
You feel your mortal coil pulling you back from behind this veil, and you sink down, slamming into the chair. You look at Kiri and Echo, just in the same places they were a moment ago.
I think she's just gonna sit there and freeze for a moment and try to process.
Echo and Kiri, please make a... What are your passive perceptions?
16.
14.
Is that your passive insight as well, Echo?
Passive insight as well.
Finley
My
seems a...
passive insight.
I'm sorry, Alex, go ahead. What's your passive insight?
I was just gonna say I just checked. It's worse.
Bless. Finley seems bothered.
What's new?
Exactly. And that is where we will take our halfway break. We'll be right back.
Oh baby, I love your madness. It's so incredibly beautiful. Oh, you shine like gold, so selfless to all, and wild like an animal. Some would say I'm insane in the right in a way, but I just love to play in your fun and your games. Always hungry for more, that's just how I was born. Take me somewhere I don't know, and give me your freedom. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium, life is so easy. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium. The limit of love is endless, I know. Just do what you want with me. Yeah, I want it all. Could care less the cost. I give you my everything. Some would say I'm insane in the right in a way, but I just love to play in your fun and your games. Always hungry for more, that's just how I was born. Take me somewhere I don't know, and give me your freedom. Whoa, you love me to pieces. Oh baby, I love your madness. It's
Welcome to our Patreon. Here on Open for Adventure, we are making high quality Dungeons and Dragons content, folks. We have a great big world to share with you, and by becoming a patron, you can help us explore and expand upon this adventure. With your support, we can invest in more amazing artwork, better mics, fancy cameras, and overall stream quality. Not to mention, help us get some amazing new merch that we can use for giveaways. What do you get by becoming a patron? I'm so glad you asked. Let's take a look at the different levels and give you a sneak peek at what you can get at each tier. Did you know that the family of the First Lord Theo, the leader of the rebellion against the Empire, actually invented firearms nearly 25 years prior to the current campaign? The designs for this high-tech weapon are the Delaney family's best-kept secret. Also, they were originally invented by the late First Lady Victoria, Theo's mother. Access to lore leaks like this is what you can expect from the first tier, written in blog-style posts after each weekly session. Ever wondered what goes on off-camera? The next 3 tiers give you exactly that. With Stolen Moments, you can get access to text-based roleplay moments, highlighting experiences that don't make it onto the stream, like Leona's training session with Ray and Asmar. Stolen Moments Plus gives you access to roleplay moments featuring our guests, non-player characters, and historical figures, featuring the likes of Marshall, Annalena, and even the Empress herself. And Roleplay Addiction takes us to a whole other level. This tier gives you exclusive 30-minute videos of canon interactions not otherwise seen on stream, like late-night drunken interactions between paladins or tender moments featuring your favorite character ships. The Warm Fuzzies is super simple. It's everything I've listed so far, and also you get your name on stream after our weekly regular sessions. Every session. And our Undying Love. And finally, the most epic of all Patreon tiers, Drum roll, please. The Lore Master. This ultimate and final tier gets you first look access at all of the content going into our upcoming, official, open for adventure campaign setting. Lore, maps, monsters, items, dungeons, dragons. Go ahead, have a look around, make yourself at home, and consider becoming a patron to help us make this fantasy world a little bit closer to reality.
Oh, hi! My name is Express Love. I'm the Senmarian god of coffee. Did you know that in Senmaria, every cup of coffee is made with found familiar coffee beans? That's canon. In Senmaria, every cup of coffee is good coffee because it's made with love by Found Familiar. Did you know that every bag of Found Familiar coffee features artwork from incredible members of the tabletop gaming community? That's canon. Each blend and roast of Found Familiar coffee features cool D&D names like Thieves' Cant, Face Step, and Pact Magic. In Senmaria, every royal meeting that Ray attends features the Cartographer's Blend, a brew of coffee made by Found Familiar in conjunction with Devin Rue. Now that's canon. Found Familiar coffee. Buy it today.
Oh baby, I love your madness. It's so incredibly beautiful. Oh, you shine like gold, so selfless to all, and wild like an animal. Some would say I'm insane and they're riding away, but I just love to play in your fun and your games. Always hungry for more, that's just how I was born. Take me somewhere I don't know and give me your freedom. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium, life is so easy. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium. The limit of love is endless, I know. Just do what you want with me. to play in your fun and your games. Always hungry for more, that's just how I was born. Take me somewhere I don't know and give me your freedom. Whoa, you left me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Once you're pandemonium, life is so easy. Whoa, you left me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Once you're pandemonium. The limit of love is endless, I know. Just do what you want with me. Yeah, I want it all. Could care less the cost. I give you my everything. Some would say I'm insane in the right in a way, but I just love to play in your fun and your games. Always hungry for more, that's just how I was born. Take me somewhere I don't know and give me your freedom. Whoa, you left me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Once you're pandemonium, life is so easy. Whoa, you left me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Once you're pandemonium. And give me your freedom. Whoa, yeah, me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Once you're pandemonium, life is so easy. Whoa, you left me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Once you're pandemonium. Oh baby, I love your madness. It's so incredibly beautiful. Oh, you shine like gold, so selfless to all, and wild like an animal. Some would say I'm insane in the right in a way, but I just love to play in your fun and your games. Always hungry for more, that's just how I was born. Take me somewhere I don't know and give me your freedom. Whoa, you left me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Once you're pandemonium, life is so easy. Whoa, you left me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Once you're pandemonium. The limit of love is endless, I know. Just do what you want with me. Yeah, I want it all. Could care less the cost. want your pandemonium. Oh baby, I love your madness. It's so incredibly beautiful. Oh, you shine like gold, so selfless to all, and wild like an animal. Some would say I'm insane in the right in a way, but I just love to play.
Nailed it.
Did it go?
No. I pushed the wrong
dang it.
button. It's fine. It's fine. I am... who hired me? We find
I think you did.
ourselves... yeah, I think so. Back with Sunday Death's Keepers.
Sunday Death's Keepers.
Sundays with Death's Keepers. It's like Mondays
Sunday's
with Maury.
keepers. Like ice cream folk.
Sundays with Death's Keepers. Hello! Welcome back. We find ourselves in the Cliffside Tavern, which is neither by a cliff nor on its side. And we find Echo and Kiri and Finley sitting around a table. Devereaux is approaching, though they have not arrived yet, but they are on their way. The evening is yours.
Gonna look up from my journal. Hey, Yuri.
Yeah?
How long has she been like that?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Finley, you haven't touched your food in like a minute.
Echo? A whole minute. You don't say.
I'm gonna lean over to Echo. Oh, I see what you mean now.
If you could just insert some sort of scathing comment about paying attention to my eating habits, that would save me a lot of trouble.
I mean, they're not that bad. It's just broccoli. Are you okay with broccoli?
It's not the broccoli. The potatoes are a bit runny. How do you make a runny potatoes? I don't even know.
Are you thinking of sending it back? I mean,
It's a bit late now, I think. I mean, I'll eat it. I'll eat just about anything, but... Is everything's fine? You two feel okay?
Yeah, I feel fine.
Yeah, well, you would. Echo, how do you feel?
Yeah, no, this is, I just don't know how to start this.
It's a book. You start at the front and work your way through it.
I mean, I do, but no, I'm writing a letter.
Start at the top then and work your way down. That's
Okay.
Do you want help? Here, dear whomever.
No, you know what?
Fill in the whomever with. Oh,
It's private.
I'm not saying you have to tell. I'm telling you, you just, dear, fill in the blank. And then you just start with one word and you follow it with another. That sounds like an asshole suggestion, but it's what you do. With anything.
Yeah, yeah. Cool, cool. And how do you put those words together? Which
don't
end of the
usually
quill
use
do I use?
Spaces. I'm trying to help you out, Echo.
Okay.
Some things you just have to put down. You can fix them later.
That's what I'm trying to do with this one.
Kiri, you write letters. You tell him.
I don't know who you're writing to, or for what purpose, or what your relationship with this person is like. So I'm afraid I can't help you.
That's not how it works. It doesn't matter.
If you trust the other person and they trust you, just hell, just write whatever comes to mind.
Okay. I know how letters work. The hard part is trying to find the right way to say it.
What are you trying to say?
I'm not sure. It's okay. It's to mom. Okay. It's to mom.
That's perfect. You got the beginning already. Dear Mom.
I have at least that down.
You know what I do when I have something I need to say and I don't know how to say it? No, do not answer that because I don't want to know what you think I do. I just say it and think about it after. Because sometimes that's the only way to get it out without overthinking it. And the best part about a letter is you can read it after and go, oh no, this is complete shite, and just toss it away. But I really do mean it when I say you just start with one word and you go on to the next. And as an example, I could say, Dear Echo, I am sorry. You showed me a kindness and I told you I was a terrible friend and didn't know what it meant. And at the first chance, I proved that. And then you died. And I didn't check in with you. I sort of was a bit of an asshole. Still sort of upset, but there you have it. I'm sorry. Yours sincerely, Finley. Anyway, that's how I would write a letter. Just one word after another. And then you just let it out into the world. Except I saved a silver or two.
It's a pretty specific example.
Look, it was on the fly.
I cast sending real fast. So I would like to send a message to Finley.
Oh no.
And I would like to say, Dear Finley, you are, without exception, the worst liar I have ever met. I hope you feel better in the morning. Love, Kiri. And I'm just sitting there with a straight face.
No, I get that it's on the fly. I mean, I just. I think
This is where
it's a fine-
Devereaux walks in.
I think it's a fine example.
I would. What was that echo?
I'll keep it in mind.
I would return Kiri's sending and just say, I don't have any idea what you're talking about. Hello, Devereaux. I was muted. Nice night for a walk.
Did you
find
just
what
say
you
to
were looking
Devereaux
for?
that you were muted?
Finley's having a rough night, okay?
Yeah. It's a nice night for a walk. I'll look to everyone at the table. Is everything okay?
Do you have any tips for writing a letter? Because these two certainly think that I have no skill to do so. Like,
That
how
is
do you
certain-
hold the quill?
That is not how that went at all.
If you know how to write a letter, why are you asking for help?
It's not the letter part of it. It's putting the words and being meaningful about it.
That's easy. Just write what you feel.
We got there.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought you needed.
Thank you. Thank you.
I think I'm just gonna head up to bed. So, if anyone needs me, I'll be up in my room.
Everything okay?
Oh, by the way, I figured out where we're headed.
Where are we headed?
Well, Kiri, would you believe that necromancers don't get around much? I'll just take the map and put it on the table. And point out the location that Amos divined.
Did he draw the little skeleton?
No, that was me.
It's a very good skeleton.
Thanks. I had a real world specimen.
So, Ilverness, eventually.
Eventually?
That's a pretty long eventually.
If you all want to work on a route or something, I'll leave the map here for you. Just take care with it. And I'll just turn and head upstairs.
I think Echo would leave next. After sort of taking a look at the map and trying to discern if there's a good route that Echo would know. what roads to take.
Make a survival check.
2. Nothing.
What is it?
What, the roll or
Yeah.
what the I rolled a 2.
Oh. Okay.
I got nothing.
You got nothing.
I got nothing. I'm distracted by the intricacy of the map.
It's quite beautiful.
Oh, I got nothing. And if you don't mind, thank you for your help. I'm gonna see if I can put your advice to use, Finley.
She'll watch him go.
Leaving you at the table with Kiri.
I was just looking at the map, like shaking my head. Incompetent bastard.
Finley will switch to Sylvan and say the nephew.
We met the nephew, or at least I did, and we saw the actual person. They're not too far away from each other last time we were there. Either way, even if we do catch just the nephew, they work in the same field as it were, and that's just one more step along the way.
So I don't understand. Are they not working together?
They are working together, but loosely. I met the nephew alone, and he was alone for pretty much the duration of that encounter. I'm not entirely sure what the nature of their relationship is.
But you don't think he's working with intention, right? I mean, he
Yes.
wants... Okay.
He was given the book specifically.
Do you know where they found this map?
This map?
Hmm.
Oh, Dev made all of this.
It's beautiful.
It is there. Very skilled.
It's a funny group we have when you think about it.
Yeah, real funny. I have no idea how long this is going to take.
And it's best we get started now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know about Zandaria. It's a lot to think about. It's awful to think about on a variety of levels.
It is.
I don't know my part in it. I don't know my part in anything at the moment. But I know you're very good at making people feel not alone, Kiri. And I know she's lucky to have you. I just hope it doesn't end badly. Take care of yourself.
For now, it's a risk I'm willing to take, but I am all too aware of the nature of this situation. I know Echo would like to sever whatever connection exists, but if that's not possible, one of us will kill the other. That's just how it will be.
Sometimes death is the best alternative.
She never even wanted to be undead.
It would be so much easier to not know any of this. But how cruel.
Yeah. I think it's pretty easy to be cool.
It really is, actually. Kiri,
Yes?
may I ask a personal question?
Sure.
Did you leave anyone back in the Feywild? I know you left a lot of people back in the Feywild.
I
I'm
did.
sorry. I mean, like a lover.
I did. Twice. First time around, well, her name was Zephyr, and we were involved pretty much. It's complicated, but we were involved for a very long time. Lived together for a long time. It was a quiet, simple life of ordinary and mundane pleasures. She was the one who convinced me to fight in the war between the courts that got me exiled here in the first place.
Was she part of the court?
Not herself, no, but she... Well, at the time I thought she believed in what we were doing. But well, somehow I got sent back, and we met again, and now she's working for the other court as some sort of military officer.
I'm sorry.
Hunting down the last of our friends.
Kiri.
Shut and kill me twice.
That's awful.
You know, there was There was a time when I would have thought that loss would break me completely. But knowing other people has made it a lot easier. For us, it's a pretty short time, but 15 years apart and the chance to meet. New people, to fill holes in my life that I didn't even know I had. It still hurts, but no, it's not the end of the world.
Sometimes hurt just changes into a different kind of hurt.
Yeah. The second time, well, somehow we got sent back, and I was sent back to my family, who are, well, I hope you never have to meet them. Wasn't exactly a great experience, and I left whenever I could, but I always had to return. But I met someone. Her name was Pax. She was a lovely, wonderful person that I still don't understand, I think, in the slightest. But she taught me a lot.
What was she? Was she in the military? Court? Something else?
She was a wandering singer, independent storyteller, an artist in every sense of the word. Do you mind if I ask you something?
Go ahead.
Why are you doing all of this? I mean, you haven't been cast across the veil between worlds. Why give up family, friends, and safety to chase necromancers across this continent?
I don't know as I have any of those tints. And like I said, I'm a coward. It's she'll gesture to the sword that she has probably still on her back. It was easier to follow someone else's idea of what I should do than think about what I wanted for myself. And now I don't know. sort of feel free for the first time in a long time. And I don't know what to do with that. Except that I want to do this. I want to be part of this. Something to help you all. However I can. You know, the other day we talked about, you were kind enough to tell me about your favorite festival. And I didn't lie exactly, but I didn't really want to think about an answer. There used to be a little, people used to catch fireflies. I don't know if they still do. And it was beautiful. Just 1,000 little lights. I don't know. They're a bit like sparks, actually. I don't know. I would like to see them again if it's still something they do, but I don't. I was a bit of a romantic when I was a little girl. And it just seemed so lovely to me. Now, I don't know. I don't know a lot. Anyway, there's that. I don't know if that answers either of your questions, but it's what I do.
Whether it directly answered the question or not, I think you told me a lot, so thank you. And for what it's worth, I have seen 1,000 cowards, and not a single one of them looked like you, Finley.
Thank you, Kiri.
Devril, how are you spending your evening?
I will probably spend part of it sitting in contemplative silence on my bed. And I will probably be alternating between reading The Bondage of Tia, and one of the other books that I nicked from the hideaway. Binding of Tia. There we go.
Yeah.
So close.
How could we forget? Echo, what about you?
He's writing. Dear Finley, the friend really needed to hear what you said today. It was just an example. But and that's all he's got so far.
On her way up, Finley is going to pause outside Echo's door and hesitate on a knock, and then go into her room.
And Kiri?
I will eventually return to my room, pack up Dev's map as carefully as I can, just make it presentable to give back to them. And I don't think I have anything to prepare right now, so I think I'm just gonna slip into a trance and then wait for the next day.
Finley. Do you read Infernal?
Yes?
Okay.
If I speak it, I can read it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? Actually, we're going to come back to that next week. That is where we're going to end today's session. We will see y'all next week. Let's go ahead and... I'm sorry, I'm the worst. I'm sorry. I had an idea.
You read Infernal. Find out next week.
Let's go ahead and sign off.
Oh. Hi. My name is Kappa. You might also know me as Christian. You can find me on Twitter at @TheKappaChris, where I nerd out about map making and letter writing and other nerdy stuff. You can find me you can find me here Sundays, same place, same time. Deathkeepers, I played Echo, the rogue ranger tiefling. We just ended our Numenera campaign. I was gonna say you can find me Saturdays, but we just ended our Numenera campaign last night. We'll pick back up in January. That's usually on Saturdays at 5:30 p.m. PST, where I play Verve, the risk-taking Jack who almost died. Spoilers. You can find out on Wednesday. You can find me on Wednesday nights on Kevin Kudo's channel, where we play Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition, skinned to be Star Wars. It's set in the Star Wars universe during the Clone Wars. I keep forgetting to drop that in. You can also find me on Roads Uncharted Season 2, coming up pretty soon. We've been doing recordings. Ren is also a player in that. I've got a bunch of other projects. Twitter's the best place to get most of those updates. Again, Twitter at @TheKappaChris. Favorite part about today's session? I really liked the conversation and reaction and just all the stuff that came with Kiri unveiling that they went to go talk to Zandaria. That was a good time.
Hey, hi, I'll go next. I'm Ren, and I have a hair in my mouth. Oh, gross. And I played Devereaux, Thistlebrook, the halfling fighter. When I'm not here on Sundays playing in Death's Keepers, you can find me on my own Twitch channel or at my Twitter page at Thorny Dryad. That's like a prickly bush. And I stream on Wednesday nights and Saturday nights. I am also, as Kappa alluded to, a voice of a character in a podcast called Roads Uncharted, which is finishing some prep for season 2 episode releases, and I have been given the approval to say that new content will start being delivered in January. So, woo. You can check us out on Google Podcasts, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts, or hit us up at Simplecast, Roads Uncharted. am I forgetting anything? Oh yeah, every second and fourth Saturday, I play in an urban campaign of D&D on Eva's Twitch channel, which I'm sure will pop up at some point. So that starts every second and fourth Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. So come watch that. It's filled with shady characters and a Minotaur who looks almost like a supervillain. I don't know. I just steer the gondolas. My favorite part about tonight was, it's such an innocuous thing, but I absolutely, I was smiling the widest when Echo was ribbon Finley on broccoli. I don't know why, but that just really tickled my funny bone, and I guess that's me.
Thank you,
I can
Ren.
go next.
Go ahead, Alex.
Hello, hi everybody. My name is Alex. You can find me on Twitter at axolotl_cure. Yeah, I had a very fun time playing Kiri tonight, and let's see other things. I just Kappa said, we just finished up our game of Numenera, which will be resuming at some point in January. So, we'll find out that date when we do. I got no fucking clue. Next week, next Saturday, I will be running a game on Friends Who Roll Dice channel, starting at 8:30 Eastern. This will be a fantasy genre game set using the Cypher system. So definitely come check it out. The cast for that is going to be super great. More announcements will probably come out about that middle of this week. And yeah, I do this on Sundays, but y'all probably know about that already. And let's see, favorite part of the session, in continuing with the theme of roasting Finley, favorite part of the session is what's new.
You stole mine.
Hi, it's me, Eva, who's shocked Alex didn't go last. It's fine. I can be found here on Sundays. I can be found on my own Twitch channel erratically, as Ren said, every second and fourth Saturday for the Dark Urban campaign, City of Shadows. Also, God damn it, Alex. Also a whole bunch of one-shots and random video games on Tuesday at 1:30 Eastern. I don't know what that makes it for me. 10:30 Pacific. Kappa and I will be in a Still an Oct one-shot run by our dear Neek. And then just like a whole random bunch of stuff coming in January. I should probably plan a charity D&D one-shot on my channel. Christmas Chaos Caper. I'm workshopping the title. I'm gonna DM something just absolutely bonkers. It's gonna be a disaster. So, my favorite thing this session, moment this session was, I think, God, there's a lot, but the interaction between Dev and Amos, I adored. And really liked that whole thing. Ease me.
Thanks, Eva. And I'm Camille. You can find me on Twitter at CamilleDoesDND. You can also find the channel on Twitter at Open4Adventure. Give us a follow there. Give us a follow here. If you like what we got going on, come join our Discord. It's a great time. I am going to give a shout out to our warm fuzzies really quickly, which are Bel Chavez and Christina.
Oh, Chavez and Christina.
L Street Gaming.
L Street Gaming, what is up in the house?
Guildmaster Seth.
Guildmaster Savvy.
Rick O.
Oh, Rick O. Oh, yeah.
Deborah.
Deborah, hi, hello.
And PJ.
Hey, oh, Peach.
Oh my god. Oh, Kip, I love you. And that is it for Warm Fuzzies. We are going to go ahead and say goodbye to you now, but we will see y'all same time, same place next week, where we find out why Finley needs to know Infernal. Bye.